Who are the Quendi, also known as the speakers? Imagine waking up in a world where the first beings to open their eyes are not just creatures but the very first children of the Creator. That's what happened with the Quendi. They are the elves of Middle-earth, and their name means the speakers, or those who speak. This name isn't just about talking. It highlights their special gift of language and communication from the moment they awoke. When the elves first came into existence at the waters of Quenya in the Far East, they were the first beings to be fully conscious in the world. They are called the firstborn children of the Creator, Iluvatar, which means they came into being directly from his thought and music. And like dwarves, who were made by the Valar, or men, who appeared later, the elves had a deep connection to the divine music that shaped the universe. Their ability to speak and create language was not just for talking. It was a way to express their thoughts, feelings, and their very essence. From the beginning, they were articulate and thoughtful, able to craft poetry, songs, and stories that carried the beauty of their spirits. When the Valar, powerful divine beings, called the elves to journey westward to the land of Valinor, the elves split into 3 main groups, called kindreds. The Vanyar were the smallest and most devoted to the Valar. The Noldor were known for their craftsmanship, pride, and fierce spirit, especially under Fëanor. The Teleri were the largest group and became associated with the sea and music, often staying close to the coast or returning from distant lands. Despite their differences, all 3 groups shared the core trait of being the speakers. They developed many languages over their long history, with Quenya and Sindarin being the most famous. Quenya was the language of the High Elves, full of beauty and complexity, used especially in their poetry and lore. Sindarin, on the other hand, was more common among the elves who stayed in Middle-earth. Their languages were more than just words. They were expressions of their culture, their history, and their connection to the divine music that created everything. As time passed, the Quendi played vital roles in the history of Middle-earth. Some remained in Valinor, called the Quendi or Elves of Light, while others stayed or returned to Middle-earth, known as the Moriquendi or Dark Elves. They fought against Morgoth in the First Age, built great kingdoms in the Second Age, and stood against Sauron in the Third Age. Even as their numbers decreased over the ages, their legacy endured through their languages, arts, and stories. The Quendi are more than just the first elves. They are the original speakers of the divine gift of language, the creators of culture, and the keepers of the earliest memories of Middle-earth. Their presence reminds us of the power of words, music, and the deep connection between speech and the soul.